Inside your bedroom, we stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm.
Hi, hello, good morning, happy Monday. I'm not feeling my best self today, but we are working on it. So first, in last week's vlog, I told you guys the whole book issue with Amazon. So just as a recap, I ordered a while back author copies from Amazon because I have a book event on the 19th. I ordered a bunch of copies actually because it'll be my stock for the next several months as well, if I don't sell out at this event. So I was set to get them this last week and it got delayed, and then the shipping updated. They said there was a problem, and then it finally told me what the problem was, which was it arrived in my state damaged and was being sent back to the seller. So I reached out. I finally, yesterday morning, got in contact through the customer service chat. I got in contact with a representative and we got it sorted. He said I should have the books in 2 business days, which I'm a little skeptical about because that's a very quick time for it to be at their printer and then get shipped to me. I'm a little nervous about it. I don't want to be screwed over. So honestly, I may reach out because unless things have changed this morning, I don't have any kind of record that it is being reprinted and reshipped to me in Amazon. So, and I feel like I should have an order confirmation or something, and I don't. So I may reach out to a customer service representative just to get like a status update. But that's where we are on that. Supposedly I'm supposed to have books before this event, supposedly in 2 business days. So this week, so we'll see. So that is the update with the Amazon book conundrum. This morning, I am doing kind of like I'm calling it a hard reset today. I am doing some manifestation because honestly, last week was just such a disaster in a bunch of ways that I just completely fell off. I didn't even bother. And I still don't feel super great and super positive. But like I said, we're working on it. I'm doing some manifestation. I'm doing what I'm calling a hard reset, and I'm calling it Amy Prokopis' master plan. I am creating a document or a spreadsheet with all of my intentions, basically like my entire reasoning for doing all the things that I'm doing because I am really frustrated with the process. Honestly, I haven't had success is kind of the best way to sum it up, or I don't feel successful. I work like crazy, guys, and it's just not paying off. And so I need to reevaluate some things. I need to look at why I'm even doing this. Is all mostly like counseling stuff. This is not author stuff because I will never give that up. But I need to like reevaluate why I am doing things the way that I am doing them for long-term success, especially because right now I am not feeling successful in the short term. And honestly, I am of the belief that the reason why people don't try harder in life, or why people like just live with the basics, or even like the bare minimum, why people like live off like, I don't know, assistance and stuff and don't even bother trying to do better. And I know there's a lot of caveats to that too, but I'm of the mindset that a lot of people just like, if you don't feel successful, then a lot of people don't bother attempting. That's the way I feel. I don't think a lot of it is about like willingness, the willingness to do things. I think a lot of it is just that people don't feel successful doing the minimum, and so why do any more? And yes, now I'm just rambling. Lord, this is just becoming like, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But basically, I need to feel some sense of like control and understanding in the process again, in order to like feel like I can start achieving success, I think. I don't know. So hopefully this week is a lot better than the last few, because they have been disastrous and I am tired of it, to be entirely honest. I also don't fully understand what I need to do to fix things. And so that is why I'm sitting down and doing this great big master like plan and hard reset, because I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong, honestly, in order to find some success. So that is what I'm working on this morning. I would like to write, but I know that this needs to take precedence, because otherwise I am honestly just pushing off difficult emotions, and so I don't have to deal with them is what I'm trying to do anyway. And so I need to deal with this now so that I can move forward. I also need to run today. So that is on the agenda. It's supposed to be decent. And so honestly, there's a running trail pretty close to where I pick up Finn. And so I think I may park my car early to pick him up, do my run while I'm there, and then pick him up and come home. And I think that may be the plan for this afternoon. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be a productive day, but also like a reset for sure. So I don't know. I will update you guys. Hopefully it will be better. Good morning. I feel a lot better today. I'm all dressed up, wearing my little black dress. Got my favorite signature red lip going. I love a red lipstick. And I'm feeling a lot better. Honestly, I did all that self-reflection yesterday and sat down, put together what I'm calling the Amy Prokopis master plan, which is essentially like, not to like use all these buzzwords and stuff, but essentially my why as to why I'm doing all the things that I'm doing. Being an LPC, a licensed professional counselor, I am basically my own boss. It is to some degree being self-employed, at least the way I will be doing it. I'm a contractor with the office I'm going to work for, and it means I can set my own schedule, set my own hours. I can pretty much dictate when and how much I work, which is amazing for a lot of reasons. One, it's honestly, I love psychology and I'm a better writer because of psychology. And so it is something that I enjoy doing in general. And I loved that part of the work as a school counselor. I loved helping the kids, helping them reach their own goals and discover themselves, like, and just grow into who they were as people. I love that. And that's basically psychology for, like, to some degree, at least a lot of the reason why people come and go to therapy. Excuse the trash truck that just pulled up next to me. We're just going to continue because I'm on a roll. But, so it's not like I'm doing this just because the schedule can be whatever I want it to be. It's just also an added perk. And so the reason I'm doing this is because I enjoy that, but also it's a lot easier to be flexible for my author life as that flourishes and continues to grow than it is in just about any other profession, at least that I'm suited for. So I'm excited. And yesterday, thinking back on that and realizing all of my whys and how much I care about all of the pieces of it, and actually sitting down and like mapping out like a daily schedule for that life, and then a phase 2 for what that looks like as I grow, was highly motivating for me and reaffirming. And I really, really needed that. I also did a free book deal over this weekend. The Guardians of the Sixth Gate was free on the 5th and the 6th over the weekend this April. And I had well over 100 downloads in one day. And it was kind of on a whim. I just kind of put it out there to see what would happen. I was feeling down. And so when I feel down, I look for things to do that would be positive and helpful. And so I tossed it out there and I was really pleased with the results. So I'm feeling better. I'm being reminded that yes, you can do this. You are suited to be an author and you are good at it and getting better. So I feel a lot better. So I got all dressed up this morning, going into the office, in part because I just need to get out of the space where I'm being allowed to kind of stew in those emotions. So I'm going to get out today. I may even stay out and like right at the coffee shop. I brought my stuff to study with me. I have my computer. I need to go reschedule my state test. So that is another thing I need to do today. The lady that runs all the testing there is very, very nice and very kind. And I think she'll be really kind of nice and like may actually boost and like continue this sort of confidence I'm trying to keep up. I think that she'll help with that as far as like me rescheduling and stuff, because she kind of knows the situation. So that will be really nice too, even though I'm not super enthused about having to go reschedule it, but it is what it is. I have reset. I know why I'm doing all the things I'm doing and why they're important to me, and we are going to move on. We persist because that's what we do. Positivity is powerful. That has been my mantra for this year. Maybe the mantra for the rest of my life even, because it has been so helpful. Positivity is powerful. And it's just reminded me that when things feel low and when I feel small, to look for the things that, one, are in my control, and two, would contribute positively to my goals, even if that means resting, because that also is important and helps contribute to long-term success. So small steps equal long-term success. And that is what we are going to do. And that is what we are all about here at Amy Prokopis Publishing. So yes, I'm feeling a lot better. Reminding myself that today I'm back on my manifestation train. I completed all of yesterday, the manifestation. I do morning, noon, and night affirmations. Just sit down, do a little like mini journaling. And then at the end of the day, I go in and add like a teeny tiny, like 1 sentence, 2 sentence kind of thoughts of the day. And I completed all of that yesterday. And I am going to sit down now and do my morning manifestation affirmation for today too. So I'll check in with you guys later. Okay, I have Amazon book issue updates. So I know I told you guys in the last time we talked about it that I talked with a rep and he said he was reordering them and I should have books in 2 business days. Well, the rep was mistaken. I started to get nervous because I did not see anywhere on my Amazon dashboard that I was having books shipped again. But this morning, I did get an alert that I was getting refunded for the damaged copies. So I reached out to a different representative who told me that the previous representative was mistaken and they don't just automatically do that. So with that representative, I went through and I reordered all of those books. They assured me that once the books got to me, I would be reimbursed for shipping. So that would be updated. It's the exact same order, so it was the same cost. However, I'm really hoping that they can get to me quickly. The rep did not directly say like a shipping timeline. I did stress that I need these by the 19th. And so I am hoping that maybe the rep went in and updated the shipping. I'm not super positive about it. The shipping date has them getting here the 17th. I need them the 19th. So we're going to be cutting it kind of close. If everything goes to plan, I should have them before then. But I'm just nervous because of everything that has happened so far. And because we're on a deadline and it's kind of out of my control, which I don't do well with. So I am nervous. So on the one hand, I have spent more than I had planned to this month because right now the refund has not hit my bank account yet. So that's annoying. But at least, I don't know. hopefully we'll get books before the event, because I don't actually have any other events scheduled right now. And so if I got stock after the fact, it would just be a ton of stock in my office just sitting there. So we will see. Let's hope. Everybody, fingers crossed. Now I am off to schedule my state test for LPC testing, because I have to retake that. So I am scheduling that for this Thursday. And then we're going to go home. I was going to go sit at the coffee shop and stay out. I think I may still go out later today to the coffee shop to write, because my mom picks up Finn. So I don't go and pick him up until later anyways. But I want to run home because, speaking of Amazon, the package that contains some office decor items just got to my house, and I would like to get that and set them up as soon as I possibly can, because that video is also behind. So we're going to go schedule testing and then go home, and I'm going to eat lunch there and put together the items for my writing room. So we'll have that done. And then after that, we may go out to the coffee shop and sit and do a bit more writing. I did get a lot of writing done last night, so that was good. And I would like to continue my momentum because I'm feeling inspired, and I feel better after I write in general. And since it's been kind of stressful lately, the more I can sit down to have some writing time, I think the better I'm going to feel. And so we're going to try to do that. So that is the plan. So now off to schedule testing. I passed it. Today was my retake day for the state test for licensure, and I passed it. Oh my gosh, this has been an adventure. If I'm loud, I'm really sorry. I'm just really effing glad that I'm done with this thing. Oh my goodness. This entire test was honestly just memorization. And when there's not, I'm not good at like that black and white stuff. Honestly, I'm not great at just memorizing things. I struggled, I remember, as a kid in math class, because you have to memorize stuff. And so I need examples. I need things to relate content to. And this was not one of those tests. So the fact that I finally passed it makes me really happy. Not only did I just finally pass it, but I only missed a couple of the questions. And I think I know which ones they were now that I sat down and it's still fresh in my mind. And I'm curious, so I'm going to go and look those up because they're good things to know anyway. I say they're good things to know. The questions I think I missed were things that don't really relate to me personally or anything that I will do. There are things that like are good to know if it applies to you, but I will never, ever, ever have to encounter that, just simply because, like, for example, for one of the questions, you had to have been in the armed forces for it to apply to you, and I'm not. So, I am curious, so I'm going to look them up, but I'm done. I have one more test, the National Counselor Exam, NCE, that I take Tuesday. I have to drive for that one. And so that's it. But I passed. I will say one thing I think that really helped this time around, because I realized last night when I was looking, like trying to remember, like what questions did I not do well on last time, and I had no idea. I think I was letting anxiety get to me and second guessing things that I had no business second guessing. And so this time around, I took my anti-anxiety medication. I have like an emergency medication that I can take on really bad days. And so I took that this morning and I felt a lot better. I didn't feel jittery or super nervous. In the test, there was some like second guessing happening, but I wasn't having a physical response to the stress. And so it was a whole lot easier to sit down and actually think about the question, because I wasn't also trying to cope with the physical response. And so I do plan on doing that again when I take the NCE, because the first time I took that test, part of my stress from the entire day was driving. Because if you've been around on this channel for any length of time, I've been pretty vocal. I've talked about it a couple of times. I have pretty severe driving anxiety and travel anxiety. And so it has gotten better as I have done some things. I'm actually looking into techniques for like phobias and stuff, because that is also part of being a counselor. And there's a certain amount of testing and stuff that I've been studying for that is involved with that. So I'm looking into that because utilizing some of those techniques for myself has been helpful. But I'm definitely going to use this same technique I did today for the NCE, which is to take that anti-anxiety medication before I drive out, because I have to drive 45 minutes for that test. So I am really glad things worked out today. Things are looking up. I also have made some better adjustments to my marketing strategy for books that has been working better. I have not seen an increase of sales yet, but I have had a pretty significant increase in outreach on my content that I've been putting out for marketing. So I will talk more in depth about that and like the numbers of that and stuff in my publishing chat, which I put out on Patreon. So if you're interested in that, check that out. There's a link in the description below for Patreon. It's also $50 off and when you join in April. So that's super nice. Yes. So that is that. I'm feeling a lot better. We have staff meeting today at noon. So I am going off to work now at the counseling agency. And then my plan after that is to sit at a coffee shop. I need to do a little bit of studying for the NCE, but honestly, I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to have a treat while I'm there, and I am just going to write and do author stuff because I have been dying every single day to write more of Curse and Blood and Sight because I love this book so much. So I'm going to reward myself, and I'm going to take the afternoon and just do writing related stuff. So I feel so much better. Hallelujah. We will be popping champagne tonight. Saturday, we thought we might go to a baseball game. Did not end up doing that. Finn and I went to the park instead, which was very, very nice. Finn walked a good mile at least because we walked all the way around the park. He decided he didn't want to play at any of the playgrounds there. We just walked the park and then walked back to our car and went to the bookstore. I ordered Carissa Broadbent. I waited because I knew that she was getting a really cool new cover for Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. So I waited until that released and I'm finally ordering it. So I'm getting it from my local indie bookstore, which was super fun. So I am excited for that. It's supposed to come in by this next week. The bookstore and I will both be at a local author event. There's like a big author fest where I live, and so she will be there, and if I don't go early and pick it up from her store, she said she'd just bring it. So that was nice. We are supposed to have plans with friends tonight. It'll be fun. Probably just do dinner at our house, let all the kiddos play. So that will be a good time. Alex is at the baseball game, which is why we were originally going to go to it. It is for the high school he works at, and our baseball team is really good, actually. So he was going to, well, he had to. He had to work it. And so he was the principal on duty, and we were just going to go just to enjoy being outside. And Finn has never been to a sports game, and I thought it would be a fun one because, again, our baseball team's really good. So it would be fun to sit there and watch, and it would be fun and exciting for him. But we asked him several times this week and then today, and he's been on the fence pretty much the whole time. And today it was a solid no. So didn't end up doing that. Fun, kind of well, I mean, it is writing related, but not current writing projects. I am looking at doing more special editions and things. And I'm looking at doing things a little bit different. I've had this idea for a while. And so I think while Finn sits in plays, I am going to play around with some cover options and things and kind of decide, do I want to do this cover myself or do I want to hire somebody? Because that is also something that I may potentially do. I think I can do it all myself though, the vision that I have in mind, and then with my Photoshop skills I've learned, I think I can do it. And so I want to look at how one does go about doing this. And yeah, maybe for the special editions, add some additional scenes because I've done that in the past. The Guardians of the Sixth Gate Omnibus has 3 brand new scenes related to each of the 3 books in the trilogy. So I loved doing that. The omnibus was really fun. And I decided to do an omnibus because the series, the trilogy itself is old enough now that I feel like rather than doing a specialty edition in a couple more years, I may get new covers for that series. I don't know. I do like the covers I have, so may just wait and see. But some of my other books that like the audience is a little different, like Winter Witches and Curse of Wings and Darkness, I think it would be really fun to do some special editions for those. So I have some ideas and so I want to play around with it. So I think that is what I'm going to go in and do while Finn is getting some downtime. He needs to rest, honestly, because he did a lot of walking today. So I'm going to let him rest and I am going to go play on Photoshop essentially. And yeah, wait until Alex gets home from the baseball game and then maybe have some time with friends. Happy Sunday. Whew. I am doing all the Sunday chores this morning. I am very sleepy, so hopefully once Walmart comes, we will make more coffee. I have live stream tonight. There is no D&D because Alex is away on a work trip for the first couple of days of this week. So it's just Finn and I. So it's been a lot of planning and prep because I'm running everything all by myself. But that also typically means that I get a lot of writing done. So be on the lookout for potential pop-up live streams and other fun updates. So next week's vlog should have a lot more writing content, I'm hoping. I also take the second of my certification tests on Tuesday, so it should be an eventful week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to continue doing all the things I have to on Sunday, so house stuff, maybe sit down and do some writing in a little bit, but definitely will this evening, and maybe run at some point today too. So thank you so much. Check out the description box for all of my links to my books, my social media. I'm really active online. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you have not already. And thank you so much for joining me. Read books, be kind. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.